Plan isn't sitting well with everybody, including some former educators. One predicting legal challenges to the board's vote. Senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez is also breaking down a racial equity analysis obtained by WHAS 11 News that raised some concerns. Isaiah, what does that show?
Well, Doug, the big focus here is unintended consequences, and it's documented that some community leaders feel cutting magnet bus service at any or by any means will widen the opportunity gap. Now, one former JCPS principal fears the plan will overload schools in the West End, some already in need of more resources.
That was the email I sent to all of the board members and the superintendent yesterday.
An email from Michelle Pennix going largely unanswered.
Joe Marshall.
Just one board member responding.
And that's when he said, hey, listen, I want the special meeting to allow transportation to respond to the audit and questions that have been raised.
That's not what happened.
And continuing to go back until we can find something that makes everybody happy. I wish we could. I hate this vote. I do not want the kids at any of our schools to suffer, but we are making them suffer today if we don't do something about it.
Instead, the JCPS Board of Ed pushed forward a vote to cut bus transportation for the majority of magnet and traditional school students.
I think communication and transparency is the biggest issue.
It was a special meeting called the day before and days ahead of when the vote was supposed to happen, to the disappointment of many.
This is going to be in a courthouse sooner than later. I don't think that families in our community are going to stand for students at one particular school being favored over students at another.
Pennix, a former JCPS principal of 22 years, worries how neighborhood schools will handle a potential influx of kids unable to travel farther for their choice school.
When you think about more students being able to stay in their resides, which means right around the California community, where are those students going to go? We don't know, and we haven't heard that.
On Tuesday, Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio reiterating staffing challenges have in many ways tied their hands.
It's just a decision that there are no good options for, and I wish I didn't have to make.
But the pushback from the public didn't come without warning. A racial equity analysis completed by members of the community late last year saying a cut to magnet transportation, quote, will create more academic gaps.
Well, Isaiah, as we saw last night, the board meeting certainly chaos now with the school board members, but the change is coming. The vote has happened, and it's going to be a summer of major planning for parents on how they're going to get the kids to these schools.
Doug, and many of those questions are already being asked by parents, right? When are they going to find out if and when they're affected? We'll look towards maybe next week's meeting, potentially, because this is a bit confusing. There are a lot of magnet programs in schools that aren't magnet schools. So really, when you just ask us, we've gotten questions from viewers asking us, well, how many magnet schools are there? It's a loaded question because it actually is much bigger than just facilities themselves. And then, of course, you add in, we haven't talked a whole lot about this, the plan also includes a change to 3 start times rather than 9. So that could lead to many, of course, adjustments for families as well.
And, of course, the infighting with the school board leads to confidence issues among the public.
Sure.
Are they going to be able to complete this plan without the mess we had last August?
And on the state level, of course, lawmakers are looking at that as well.
That's right. They're always focusing on JCPS.
They are.
Thank you, Isaiah. Well, to help address the driver shortage, JCPS continues holding their bus driver blitz. That's a big hiring event. The next one's going to be coming up this Saturday, April 13th, from 9 until 2 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn. That's on Crittenden Drive.